All right. What is going on, Alithio Network? Back to the interview series here, and I have a very special guest in the building. We have
You can't
Oliver
hype me
Ward.
up like that. You can't hype me up like that.
Yeah, I do, because I'm really excited about this one.
So am I.
Yeah. So we've been talking a little bit before anything got started. We were just talking a little bit about work, and I kind of want to get into that right now. My first question is, how did we meet?
So Brendan was kind of a mysterious force for me. I'm just yapping. But no, it was, I have to think. It was probably like maybe two years ago at this point. You started working at Home Slice, which is where I currently still work. I know you're out of there now. But you kind of got brought in, if I remember, through Raven. And obviously, Raven is who I do On the Gravel with. Raven's like my best friend. And I knew you two were in the same frat. So I knew that it was kind of inevitable that you and I were going to get close there. And I also feel like, off air and in the real world, you and I's personalities kind of mesh very well together. Like, I think you and I bounce off of each other really well. So I think becoming friends with you was a very easy task for me.
Yeah, I'm excited to tell my side of the story for this
no.
too. Well, no, it's not funny. Also, side note, funny. What is funny is that you mentioned the frat, and
Yeah.
Tasso's not gonna like that. But white guys with podcast in the frat, just
Dude, it just happens, man. You can't get mad at that.
That is how I met Raven. Funny story, when I got to Home Slice, which is the place that me and Oliver met, where we both worked at I worked there for 2 years, like he said. Actually, I got the job from Jonah, who is our other friend.
Yes.
And Raven got... Oh, wait, no. Was it Raven? Yeah, no. Raven got to refer me, so he'd get, the bonus,
the referral bonuses. I completely forgot we did referral bonuses there for a while. That was nice.
Yeah, no. So he got the referral bonus, but actually I didn't really know him that well at the time.
Yeah.
And then my first training shift, I was a busser, and I was under Jonah, and I had no idea who Oliver was yet. And
I think I was still bussing at that time too.
Yeah,
I think that was when I was doing near 40 hours a week bar backing at the restaurant.
Yeah, you were at least bar backing, that's for sure. But so I started bussing, and then my second training shift, I think Oliver was my trainer. And then it was just, from there it was history. But no. I love Oliver. We've been working together for a long time. He's always been my best buddy to see at work. Unfortunately, I had to quit just because of some other stuff, and because I'm moving back to the city.
That was a toughie for me, losing Brendan.
But I don't know. He's still there. He's a server currently. This is his side gig. And, obviously his main gig is the podcast.
That it is.
That's where all of his effort and creativity gets exerted.
I don't know, dude. When I'm serving tables, you might get a bit of effort and creativity from me.
You might get a couple great one-liners from Oliver. Stop by if you're in the Lincoln Park area to Home Slice. Ask for Oliver. You know how it goes. But that's
a lot of pressure.
That plays into my next question. What does your daily routine look like?
Are we talking on an off day? Or are we talking on a work day?
We'll do both.
I guess. Okay, so on an off day, I kind of just wing it. I'm a big wing it guy. I like to go with the flow, but I mean, I guess on an off day, going outside is something that's very important to me. I'm a big house husband, I guess. I mean, I live with my roommate, and I'm very particular about the way I live.
Shout out to Dean.
Shout out to Dean. I love you, Dean. But yeah, I don't know. I've always liked to be a very clean person, so cleaning definitely makes it into my daily routine all the time. But I guess on a work day, it's more, I used to be really bad about it. I used to have a horrible sleep schedule when it came to work. I'd go to bed at 3 a.m. and get up at noon. I feel like the service industry kind of just does that to you sometimes. But
dude, I mean, like, I feel like, because I know for a fact that Dean has a horrible sleep schedule. I was just going to say.
This guy, okay, you know what? Okay, we're talking about this a little bit. This guy was in the kitchen last night at 2:30 in the morning cooking up like chicken and rice. It is 2:30 in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's something I would do like in the past, but I feel like I've gotten a bit better as time has gone on. Like I feel like I'm on a good sleep schedule now. Typically, I like to cook a lot. It's not something I used to do, but as I just wanted to find something to do when I have like time off, instead of like, making a sandwich or something, look up a random recipe online, go to the store, buy the stuff, and make it.
Yo, that's something I should be doing. As a power lifter, it's kind of unfortunate that I'm not, taking advantage of my adulthood and the fact that I have a car down here.
Yeah.
Shitty car. Hate it. I hate my Honda Civic. I'm just going to say that right now.
Honda Civic is a pretty reliable car, though.
Yeah, that's what you would think. But I've been having like the same problem with like this front left tire for the longest. Like we take it into the shops and it's just like, we put on a new tire and it'll like slowly leak every time. So we would get like the wheel checked out because we think like obviously when you put on the tire, something wrong is going on. It's like you think that there's something popping the tire. Couldn't find anything. So I'm just like, I've been driving on this slowly leaking wheel. Damn, you made me stutter. The slowly leaking wheel is just like inevitable. And now I have to get it checked out after, once I move back in. Another side note. I know this isn't about me. This is about Oliver here. But
no, this is about us.
Yeah, I'm moving in with my parents next year. So I'm going to be back and forth from Chicago. We're Chicago based. Everyone knows that. But I am Naperville based. Oh my God.
Down the Ville, baby.
Oh my God. I just publicly declared my Naperville hood. But
goodness.
Okay.
It's okay. Naperville's kind of like the same area I came from in Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Back to the routine. And then I work, and then I come home, and then maybe I play some video games and make dinner and sleep. Done.
Oh yeah, yeah. You see, I sent Oliver the questions. He already knows I'm gonna ask him about video games later. But yeah, no, I was also trying to get you to talk a little bit about what it's like working service industry.
Well, okay. So when it comes to working in the service industry, it's a lot of people have told me this, and I feel it like every time I work there. The service industry is kind of a trap. I enjoy doing it, like especially with stuff like this where you and I are talking. I'm a big yapper. Like I like to talk a lot. I can talk people's ears off if I need to, and I think in the service industry, like that is a huge thing. If I can like format good conversations with people, it's going to make their experience at a restaurant a lot better. So I feel like I'm able to switch on an autopilot and kind of just clock out and then do that for 6 to 8 hours straight at work. Yeah, and then come home.
That's just something that I would not be able to do. That's like what my turmoil has always been because like, I already said me and Oliver work together.
Yeah.
It's either like in service industry, at least, the place we worked at, you either have one or two pipelines and it's going to be like you work your way up from like a food runner to like a server, or it's like busser to bartender, you know? So Oliver obviously became actually, he completely fucking just disregarded that I just like because you're a busser into a server.
I've done like almost every position in that restaurant.
Yeah, but I mean, I always wanted to be a bartender, but I was in for a rude awakening when I kind of realized I was like, oh shit, I need to talk to people anyway. Like I was just like always trying to avoid that because I just like I'm a little bit more of an awkward person than Oliver. I mean, like, I don't know if people met me outside, I think people would think I'm very eccentric, but also eccentric and a bit awkward though. Well, I think when I think eccentric, I think of like alt, like dyed hair. I don't think of you as eccentric. I think of you as charismatic.
Okay, fine. We'll use charismatic. I feel like I have a bit
but that's like, always a good thing, no matter where you go.
That's true. That's true.
Oliver brings some positive. Like, look at him glowing on the screen right now. I'm leaving it up.
I'm going to hide myself now.
The cameras are too much, dude.
I can't take all this hype from Brendan.
I know. I'm just like I'm a kid in a candy store with this goddamn video in front of me. I just do everything. Somebody needs to take this away from me. but nah, nobody's taking it away. I run this show. But
Want to breathe?
all right, do you want to move on to the next one here?
Yeah.
All right, now into the meat and potatoes, especially for the people coming in from On the Gravel. Hopefully, you guys are promoting this show so you could.
Oh, absolutely.
Y'all better now that I have one of you on here.
I do.
All right,
it's something I'm very proud of.
I'll promote it right now. Check out On the Gravel. But our other show, people coming in from that show, hopefully. How did you get into it? How did it come to be?
So this kind of fell to me on a silver platter, that silver platter being carried by Raven. Raven had told me that he was doing the Good Morning Hockey show with Tassos, and I think Tassos had posed the question to Raven about if he had wanted to create his own show and do something like that. And, you know, Raven and I being as close as we are, and the fact that in the past like year and a half, I've really gotten Raven into motorsports. It was something I'd always like pestered Raven about. Like we would hang out like on a weekend and there would be an F1 race and I'd be like, Raven, this is the time I'm forcing you to watch F1 with me.
All right, I'm sorry. I have to like interject because I'm getting like interested now because I didn't even know this. I didn't even know that you got him into F1.
I did.
So like
it's actually a crazy story. So
I want to skip around now because I have right under what got you into F1.
We'll mold these questions together because it all goes into the same thing.
All right, I'm just excited, dude. I'm having a great time listening to this.
So I've known about F1 for a long time. I didn't start getting into it super regularly until like 2019, when my dad and I were watching the Netflix Drive to Survive series.
Oh, okay.
And I've always had a bad thought about what people like to call Drive to Survive fans for F1, which are generally American-based fans who know nothing about the sport that just come from that show.
Oh, okay.
And they know nothing about the meat and potatoes of the show. But for me, when it comes to like F1 and that kind of stuff, when I find something I like, I hyper fixate on it and obsess over it. So like when I started watching F1 regularly in 2019, 2020, I would, like my father and I and my brother, Vince, would get up like every Sunday morning because it's a European-based sport. So like these race times are at like 8 a.m. for us. So I got into this like very regular schedule of getting up at like 7 a.m. with my dad and my brother, going downstairs, making some coffee, maybe some breakfast, and then we'd sit in the basement with the large flat screen and just watch the race every single week.
Bruh.
And I would study up on it a bunch, like go through all the history, all that kind of stuff of the sport. So like you can ask me like basically like any question about F1 and I could probably answer it. And it's just how I am. Like when I like something, I will go die hard over it. So,
something that very few people know about me is that I am really into football, and I was like the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And not to get corny about it, but like, is there a better way to get into something than just kicking it back with the family and making something out of it?
No, literally.
Like, dude, you just said that, and it's like,
Yeah, and now it's like that's also a period of my life where I feel like I got really close to my father and really close to my brother.
Yeah, just taking advantage of like something so simple to like create that kind of opportunity, dude. I would fucking love F1
So yeah,
too,
exactly.
man.
Now that it's kind of like my, I'm living out their legacy now by doing this. But so getting Raven into motorsports though, I mean, Raven had always liked motorsports anyway, but he was not like a regular watcher of races and that kind of stuff like I am. So we had one time in 2023, I was living out in Wicker Park, which is like west of the
Was
Loop.
that one of the houses I've been to?
Yeah, you've been there.
To that house? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was living out there with my roommates at the time, and it was a night after work where Raven and I had both worked that night. There was a race on at midnight because the race took place in Australia. So it was at midnight for us. Raven and I were going to hang out anyway. And I was like, all right, Raven, this is the time I'm going to force you to watch the sport. So it was the Australian GP in 2023 where Raven and I sat down in my living room at literally midnight, watched that entire race. It was one of the craziest races of the year. Like I picked one of the best I luckily picked one of the best races of the year to introduce him to the sport. Raven got hooked immediately.
Oh my God.
And then him and I would, as often as we could, start watching the races together, just like my dad and my brother, just like I did in the past with my dad and my brother. But then it kind of evolved into, when this whole podcasting thing started, Raven had realized, like Oliver and I have been watching F1 together for nearly a year now. Why not do an F1? Like, why not ask Oliver, let's do an F1 show together? He asked the question. I was like, I will absolutely do that because I love to talk. I love F1. I feel like it was a match made in heaven. That was the silver platter I was talking about.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I didn't know which of the two of you was, really into F1. So,
It's me.
Yeah, no.
Not that Raven isn't now. Raven is very, I can't think of the word, but, he's very locked into the sport now.
Yeah.
But
I hate to hit you again with, another thing that,
Hit me.
is,
hit me, baby,
making you,
one more time. Oh, sorry.
not to make you nervous or anything, but
Oh, no.
I did, no, on the last show with Tassos,
Okay.
I was describing the interview I was going to do today. I was like, I'm going to be with Oliver, the personality. And he was like,
I'm not the personality.
no,
I'm not,
I said that. I literally said, I was like, Oliver would not call himself the personality, but I was like, he is the charisma. So I was like, I'm going to be excited for this one.
I try to be.
Yeah. I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like me and Oliver don't have a past, a history.
Okay, no, that just sounds like we were past lovers, dude. I don't want.
No, it's even better because I kept the camera on myself. I don't know.
Oh no.
I got a little sensual with it, but
Yeah. That's okay.
Do you see the little blips under there? Or
Yeah.
You know what I'm about to ask you? With
Exactly. Ask away, my friend.
The show's future. That's
So-
what I'm wondering.
I think so long as Raven and I keep being consistent with it and keep putting time into what we're doing, results are definitely going to follow. I feel like last week when our show hit number 2 on the automotive charts in the United States, that was crazy.
I think we could sit and talk, touch base a little bit about that because, huge shout out. I don't know about numbers wise on this show yet. I haven't really checked or anything as of this is Thursday. We're recording on Thursday right now, but crazy. I'm sure if you're a follower of the network, you're probably tired of hearing this by now, but I want to just touch base and be appreciative myself as the producer on the show and everything. Every show was ranking, and not only was Oliver, not only was Good Morning Hockey the big one place, Oliver and Ravens is still charted right now. I think at number 2 or something
I think right now it's around 10. But still,
it's top 10 in the world though.
Just in the United States, but still.
States?
Still. That's 300 million people.
Oh, well, let me hit you with a different one that's
Okay.
it's isn't it automotives in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
anything automotive.
It may not be worldwide, but I know for a fact it's automotive.
It's not just F1. I think when I was looking at it, ours was one of the only F1 centric shows because there were some about motorcycles, some about working on a car, XYZ. So it's a very broad category. I'm very surprised they don't have a motorsports category when they have a category for soccer, basketball, football, all that kind of stuff. But still, to see it up there was crazy, and it reinforced all of the commitment that Raven and I have put into this. So when it comes to looking at the show's future, I feel like it's something that can keep growing so long as we're as consistent as we have been. I think, putting out the podcast at the same time every single week, recording at the same time every single week, prepping at the same time every week. Because Raven and I will write a whole, not script, but large outline for every single episode that we do. These things get 5-6 pages long of just all of the information and stuff, we want to talk about. But continuing to also study the sport as a whole, just to make myself more knowledgeable and reputable, I guess, as a source for people. I could definitely see the show continuing to grow to a much wider audience if we just keep cracking away at it.
Yeah, no, I was actually tuning in. I don't know if this is not narcissistic because I was not on the program this day, but I was tuning into our show. And Raven mentioned that you guys got viewership in some really weird countries. Like,
oh, I can't even remember off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to.
I think we've had like I know the United States, UK are like our biggest ones, but we've had people. I know we've had people listen from like some country in like Southeast Asia.
Yeah, no,
or like stuff like that. I think we've hit like. Raven, I think Raven told me last week there was like 12 different countries that the podcast was downloaded in.
I know.
What is going on?
That's the crazy thing about F1 is like it's
its reach is literally global.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean to like. I mean, Oliver already said it was like on a silver platter. The opportunity was, but I mean, this market is like so perfect.
I think it's crazy especially for people who don't know a lot about it, like yourself and Tassos, like didn't know a bunch about like the, I guess, reach of F1 and motorsports in general. So for you guys now to see how big of an audience we can grow with this kind of show makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Because especially with how big like F1 and motorsports are getting in the United States now, I think it is kind of like an open market where you can kind of just jump in there and take a piece of that like pie.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I think you guys are completely like poised to dominate. And I don't
want to say dominate.
Yeah,
but
no, that's
but definitely be there.
I know. I'm like getting ahead of myself a little bit too excited. But like, I don't know. They do fucking great over there. I know because I know like the production side of things with Raven. I know what he does to make the videos better. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That could just be biased, but like, one thing that I know from my experience, because like the show before this, as some of you know, was like a powerlifting show that I was running. We'll get a little bit more into later, like what I'm gonna plan to continue to do with this, and we can talk a little bit about that. But I had a kind of similar situation where it's like kind of a niche market. I feel like we all kind of do here. I mean, Tassos has his like hockey's obviously the biggest market, but it's like, kind of a thing where he does like the morning show and like gets down like nitty gritty, lists off all the stats, it's really suit and tie about it. That in itself is kind of a niche, but I digress. Anyways, my show like has that kind of like niche market where it's like we put it under the fitness category.
Yeah.
And you think that it's like a broad market, but it's really not. And as I was kind of saying, like,
I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of fitness influencers and stuff, though.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of influencers, but they don't talk about fitness. So like,
that's fair.
So in this market, like, I don't even think I got over to saying this because I was too busy giving Oliver so much kudos. But like, I just like our show actually charted at number 4 on the fitness thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, did you even know that?
I had no idea. That's actually huge.
Yeah, no. So the other two that I did it with obviously were really good at what they did. I was just more so doing my thing back here, which is what I like to do. I'm not saying that as if I don't like sitting here interviewing Oliver right now, but you know what I mean. Anyways, it's like I get what you mean where it's like that niche market. It's just like a really hard situation to not want to take advantage of where it's like you see it and it's like I didn't even put out an episode this week that it charted. Like it was I put out 2 episodes and then the third week people went back, I guess, to
look at the
old
third
ones.
One.
Yeah. Well, inevitably they looked.
Of course.
They looked at the old ones, but there was no new one.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? They were looking for a new one, but it didn't.
I know.
But
it's okay. So, you were still in your infancy, so
yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, Tassos was detailing not that long ago that most like he asked me, he's like, how do you think like how many shows do you think the average podcast runs for? And I was like, yeah, I'd say people probably end up doing like 5 episodes and quit. It's 1. People usually just...
It's 1 episode?
Yeah, the average podcast, like show, whatever you want to call it, runs for 1, and then they quit because they don't want to do it. So
that's insane.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and it is what it is. Like, Sometimes people just like, don't want to integrate it into the lifestyle because it's like with podcasting, it's kind of like, people will look at you funny. It's like, oh,
who cares though? I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah,
I think that's one thing that I've been able to grow about my personality as I've aged. I used to really care about what people thought of me. Now I literally don't care. I don't give a shit.
I don't care that I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm talking too much because I want to give it to Oliver, but
okay.
I'm gonna get a little inspirational on y'all. Don't be a slave to opinions. You only have one life. It's like I'm saying this to you right now in the camera.
Swag YOLO.
You only have one life to say that on camera, but like
I'm never saying that again.
And I'm not cutting it out, even if
don't cut anything out.
But yeah, no, man. I just heard this from like another influencer. It's like I could say it like to the World Wide Web, whoever watches this, but it's harder said than done. It's like cracking the Da Vinci Code, just not caring what people think about you.
Yeah.
But I'm here doing my thing with the podcast, so it's like kind of succeeded in a certain capacity.
Yeah.
I don't really care what people think in that regard either, but it just comes down to like the fact that it will affect somebody's mentality, and like the work that they want to put into it, because it's like they know that people have that perception, and they might have that perception that themselves and be like, why am I putting so much work and effort into this? But like really, I don't think people realize how, I don't want to say easy, because we haven't like made it yet.
Exactly. And I feel like it's also like you were saying, it's not super hard to do. And I think it's not like what makes it, I guess, easy is the passion that you have for it. Like if you genuinely enjoy doing this will come off as a hobby. Like for me, this is a hobby. Yeah. Like I know what this has the ability to be like a job at some point, but I still just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we already talked about the fact that Oliver has a pretty secure job over at Slice. We're not going to get into the exact dollar amounts or anything.
Okay,
but
dude,
like,
stop. What?
But, all right. But like, just hear me out.
Yeah.
It's like the prospect as somebody, because this is what I plan to do too when I move back to Naperville. The prospect of like having that kind of like service industry-esque job and then having like podcasting on top of it, making money, is like such a crazy prospect. It's like, that would be like, oh my God. I feel like I had it made if that was going on for me.
I feel like I have right now I have a good work-life balance. So I still have the time that I need to put into this with what I currently do.
Yeah, doing something like that. I mean, obviously it's not all fun, but like for this, like I already talked about this. If you guys saw the last episode, detailed a little bit about this in that. But like me, I just like, if I get an opportunity to work post in any capacity at all, it's fun for me.
Exactly.
But so like, I'm just, I'm over here having the time of my life. So I can't like, that makes it hard because I can't expect other people to want to come in here and like
have the same energy that you have.
Podcasts as much as I do. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I'm very willing to do whatever I am gonna do, like whether it be talk, edit, produce, whatever.
Exactly.
I love getting any opportunity to do anything like that. So it's hard sometimes finding people.
It is, and I think for me personally, I guess like my last comment about On the Gravel is kind of like my little shout out to Raven. I feel like Raven, the amount of work he puts into our show, and also him and I's extremely close friendship outside of this has like made us doing a duo podcast a lot easier, just in the sense of him and I both know that we share this like passion very deeply and can both count on each other to put the amount of work in that needs to be put in.
Yeah, actually, I have like kind of a rogue question.
Yeah, ask away.
That's gonna bounce off that. It's like when you come down to like something, it doesn't have to be podcasting specifically, but it's like, how is that like dynamic for you, being as Raven is like one of your best friends? Like, do you think that you guys would be as successful if you weren't close friends?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just like I feel like I know the dude like the back of my hand.
Exactly.
So it makes it a lot easier to talk to him and I guess format what I'm saying on the air around how I know he is as a person. Like the way people hear me on air talking to Raven is not the exact same, but close to, how I talk to him in real life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little bridge between being a robot or you seeing like my cut and dry friendship with Raven. You get kind of a mix of both. Like we have to be professional a bit, but also you are seeing both of us like be best friends.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, it's like I agree. I don't know how you could have like as good of chemistry with somebody if you're like not super close with them. I mean, like it's just really tough if you're not like, I don't know, professional. I don't know what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying, though.
I do.
It's tough, and I was just thinking about that for myself, just because I was potentially thinking about who I was gonna work with next. It's like, I don't know. You guys have a really like ideal dynamic.
Yeah,
and
I think
from
I'm
my
very
perception,
lucky to have that.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, right now at this very moment, under the network, you guys are the only like partnership. Like
exactly, because Tassos does his by himself. You're doing yours, quote unquote, by yourself. Like you don't have a co-host with you.
Sneak peek. I'm planning on doing it myself, but
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, obviously, I'm your guest right now. But yeah, no, Raven and I are like the only show on here that have, dual hosting, which I think it works well.
Yeah.
So long as you find the right person.
It's so tough though. Like that kind of brings me over to like, because I don't know. Oliver obviously had the love for F1, but sometimes with like podcasters, it's kind of like it. I mean, as the producer, it's really hard to speak on this, but sometimes you just kind of have to get a random person. Well, not like literally a random person off the street.
I know what you mean, though.
But just like any kind of archetype and set them in front of a mic and see
how they work.
Yeah. And like typically, like in my experience, like right now, it's like usually I take like like 20 minutes, 10 minutes or so of like being a little bit more like uptight to like, get used to there being a camera in front of me, and then I like start kicking. But like some people could do it faster and some people can not do it at all. And some people can like, not ever get used to it and just...
That's fair. Like, well, funny enough, when Raven and I started doing video, I want to say, so I think him and I are at close to 30 episodes now. I think we're like at like 28 or 29 episodes. But we started doing video around episode like 12. And initially, I was very nervous in front of the camera. We also had both Raven and I sitting at that desk you're sitting at right now, like in two chairs right next to each other. We didn't have this really nice setup that we do now. But I was way less willing to look at the camera while I was speaking. Now it's like second nature to look straight into the camera and talk to it.
Yeah, no, it is really just something that you get used to.
It's something you get used to. It's a skill you build.
I just sound like a moron right now, just like acting like I'm just like the top of the top of the fucking
this
pyramid.
Guy's top of the food chain. I'm sitting down here on this couch 6 feet under Brendan.
I'm basically just like the next Nelk boys is what I'm getting at. I'm just a natural, but no, I'm just speaking my experience. I don't know. I have a little bit too much fun with this stuff sometimes.
Me too.
But moving on, just because we could probably talk about half this stuff for a year and a half if we really wanted to. But promise this will be like one of the last serious questions. Then we could get into the more of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be 5 years from now? This does not have to pertain to the podcast either.
I have no idea. And like, I hate to say that because this is a question other people ask me. Like, what do I want to do when I stop working at Home Slice? What do I want to do 5 years, 10 years from now? And it's a question that I feel like, I don't want to say I dodge a lot, but just given how I've lived the past few years, has been like a very go with the flow kind of person. I know for, people that obviously know me personally know that I stopped going to college. Not like I full dropped out, but, like signed a like leave of absence to say, I'll come back at some point, or just have the opportunity to come back. I want to go back to school at some point. I want to finish up, get my degree. I went to school for finance. I don't know if that's something I want to finish now. The entire reason I stopped going to school was because of COVID, which absolutely destroyed my track, and I saw myself doing worse in school as well. Not like I was fucking failing every class, but I could see that my passion wasn't there. My grades dropped a tiny bit, and I was like, I should probably cut the plug now. Live life for a little bit and go back when I truly care about go back when I want to be there. And I know that I'm working towards, getting back to that point now. And I only have like a year or maybe a year and a half of school left. So it's something I could knock out, but potentially changing, my major or something like that. I don't know if I want to do finance. I feel like every dude in my family does finance or accounting and all that kind of stuff. And I know it pays the bills. I know you make really good money doing that stuff, but I also don't want to work in an office my whole life. I want to be able to go out and travel and enjoy life. Like 5 years from now, I want to have knocked multiple countries off of my bucket list. Like my top 3 are Switzerland is my number 3, New Zealand is my number 2, and Iceland is like the place I have to go. See the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, okay.
Do like the drive around the circumference of the of the country, like rent a car. It's like an 18-hour drive to drive around the entire country, which I have to do that. But 5 years from now, I probably won't be at Home Slice anymore. That's a fact.
No.
Where if I stayed there for 5 more years, I would be nearing it on my 10th year, like being there for 10 years. Like, no thanks.
Ultra vet.
Yeah. Like job wise after that, I don't know. It all depends on school and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And maybe at some point, like even when I'm not done with that, just switching it up, different service industry job, doing something remote online. I don't know. But
do you know what tangent? Because I've just been like over here itching to bring up an example. Do you? No, I gotta ask. Like, do you know who I'm gonna bring up right now?
No.
Just take a guess. I feel like
who you're.
Come on, let's get like telepathic right now.
Wait, hang on.
Who am I gonna bring up? Like 5 years doing like life stuff. That's cool. Come on.
Hang on. Is this like an influencer person?
No.
Or is this somebody we know?
We know him.
What? Hang on.
All right, 3, 2.
No, I can't name a person.
All right, Kyle Hook.
Oh my goodness, I could have done that. I could have got that.
That's who I was gonna bring up because you were talking to me about like traveling and like not knowing what you want to do for it. We have a friend, Kyle,
who's an absolute legend.
He is a legend, and I like. When I'm hearing Oliver talk, I'm like, this is some Kyle Hook influence. Because, like, dude, I hear the stuff he wants to do with his life, and I'm like, that is so fucking cool. Like, damn, bro. I just, like, camera got me, too. I just look like
dude, I want to explore this planet, okay?
I can't be simping for Kyle Hook this hard on camera.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting off that topic now. Let's go back to the travel. Love you, Kyle. No, but... I want to, I'm not going to be locked into like one city my entire life. I don't want to live in the same place my entire life. I want to go around and explore the planet that I was birthed onto. And, expand my repertoire.
This?
I don't, can we, anybody hear that on the mic?
I hope that doesn't pick up.
I kind of hope it does.
All right. Continue.
But yeah, I want to get out and enjoy life. I think that's kind of why we're, put on this earth in the first place, is to experience it and take in as much as you can.
Yeah,
like that sounds so philosophical and like cliche, but it's true.
It's not.
That you have to at least set aside a tiny portion of your life to do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing this like, oh my god, you're big on TikTok. Well, Oliver, for full disclosure, is not TikTok famous. That's not.
I might have an account with 300,000 followers on TikTok where I post memes.
He may or may not. But yeah. So you're big into TikTok, I should say. Do you know the trend where it's like, it's called dark fantasy, right? And like it's people like, well, it's either like the AI generated photos of like fake medieval movies. But have you seen the ones of that one guy who like uses that same audio all the time? Who's like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Crazy ass.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he has the phone. He like makes some crazy face at the camera. He's like, oh my god! And then he like turns the camera, and it's like the most beautiful, picturesque environment you've ever seen.
I knew Oliver would know what I was talking about.
That's what pisses me off. This guy posts one of these like once every 3 hours, and he's on a different side of the planet every time he posts it, dude. I don't know how he's doing this.
He saw like the Great Wall of China, but I wanted to bring that up because I think a lot of the places he goes are Thailand. And I also wanted to bring up Thailand because that's where Carl Hook's going.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want to
Southeast Asia is definitely on my list. I would love to go. Like Vietnam is probably the number one country in Southeast Asia that I want to go.
I'm gonna pause. Just like dude, I can't think of Vietnam without.
Yeah. Funny enough, when it comes to getting drafted for the Vietnam War in the past, my birth date would have placed me as the second group of people to get drafted to Vietnam. I was gone. I was a goner, bro.
You were a tunnel rat guy.
No, I was signed up to get Agent Orange really quick. Okay, this is getting dark. I need to stop talking.
Yeah, sorry to all the Vietnam vets watching. We don't mean to rehash anything.
Yeah, that was messed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. My bad.
But yeah, no, I would like to go to Vietnam. Like, I think, like Vietnamese coffee, super good.
Oh, I've heard of that.
The dish of pho is insane. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'm not saying pho. That just sounds like I'm beginning to pronounce something. They have really good food there. Their street markets are crazy.
Okay. All right, you're selling me right now.
Funny enough, they were actually gonna host an F1 race there in 2020. It was one of the craziest circuits I'd ever seen.
You know, that's another thing. I feel like F1 gives you a lot of great excuses to go a bunch of random like countries. And
geography is literally one of my favorite things on the face of the earth. It's like, aside from like motorsports and that kind of stuff, I have a very niche liking for geography. Like, you show me any flag on the face of the earth, I know what country it is. I know like most like state. I know every state capital, all the countries' capitals. Like, I can name all the countries on the planet.
I feel
for
like
no
we've
reason,
done this.
for literally no reason.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
It's just, I don't know. It's just something I like. And that goes into my whole like travel thing. Like, having studied up on this stuff for so long, it makes me want to go out there more.
I'm about to hit you with the corniest transition ever. Moreover, on things that you like. Let's hit the rapid fire questions, dude. I always see these on the damn sheet that I make for myself, and I'm like, dude, I can't wait. So first, also I have like a tendency of making these not rapid at all. I just like fucking talk about them. But rapid fire, Kendrick or Drake?
They not like us. They not like us. Are you kidding me? Drake. Drake is so unbelievably overrated, dude. I'm sorry. Drake, L artist, okay? You know what? Every song that I have in my library that is by Drake or featuring Drake has somebody else featuring on it. I have no standalone, just Drake songs. Because you know what? Every artist he features carries his song. He is awful. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Kendrick
is the GOAT of rap.
Yeah, Oliver's going to get a lot of new fans for that. I know that's the based opinion, but I'm just a little bit
now,
sassy.
Funny enough, I would throw Kanye West into that conversation. I'm a massive Kanye West fan.
Well, that doesn't count. I mean, we're from Chicago, so that's like kind of
that's fair
implied in a way, but dude, I always stand up for zesty Drake. And also, like, dude, I don't know.
I need a Max win.
I don't know. I feel like, this is my opinion, again, but I feel like he dropped the only, like, actual good songs in the diss. Like,
are you kidding me? They Not Like Us was the best song in the diss by a country mile.
I don't know. That one was, like, a good song for a lot of people. I just, like, that one didn't hit for me. I, like, as a song. And, like,
I see you, Drake fanboy.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm biased as hell. I'm, like, just... I don't know, in front of the camera speaking out of my ass right now. So take it with a grain of salt, all right? I am a Drake fan, so
I'll respect it.
I don't know. I can't switch just because of popular opinion. I think that like he dropped two like Push-Ups and Family Matters were like two songs that I actually really like listened to. Euphoria and Meet the Grams just get me mad uncomfortable. It's
fair.
like so what if they were like better disses? For me, it's just like dissing is just like entertainment for me.
I agree.
And it's like Drake is an entertainer, whether you like it or not.
That's why I like how Kendrick essentially made like a club banger with Us.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
I'm gonna be listening to that for a long time.
Yeah, no, I like what he did with the track. That's what I ment. And it's like I think that it was clever, but I didn't like this song. It's so funny because I'll always be online with like my friends on like PlayStation, and I'll always be like, Drake fucking won that shit, and then there's like a giant poster of Kendrick right next to me. I'm like, dude, Kendrick's so corny for that, and he's just fucking right on my wall watching me say that.
It's so goofy.
Yeah, no, but I'm a Kendrick fan too. I don't know. I like Drake's
I respect your liking for Drake.
Coke or Pepsi?
Controversial again. Pepsi is way better.
Oh no, that's not in this house. It's not controversial.
Coke is too sharp. Pepsi is a little bit sweeter.
It is.
Which I like.
Yeah.
It's softer.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of expected you to say that because we work at Slice and they are Pepsi.
Oh, I got it from my grandfather. My grandpa on my mom's side of the family was a massive Pepsi drinker, so that was
my family's
ingrained into me as a child.
My family's Coke. I don't know. I'm just a Sigma. I'm a lone wolf, man.
I might have to walk out of here, dude.
Okay, want the Sigma? Okay. All right. I'll stop. Temple Run or Angry Birds?
Temple Run.
All right.
My notable mention for that question is Cut the Rope. If you ever played that game,
Yeah, no, I was debating which one I wanted to put up against Temple Run.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I was a big Doodle Jump person.
That game is so good.
Yeah, I know, dude. Right now, this is like side tangent. There's me yapping again when I'm supposed to be rapid firing, but I love Battle Cats. Everyone who knows
Never
me,
played Battle Cats. I never
Battle
played
Cats is my favorite like phone game ever. Like I'm just at the gym. If you think, okay, absolutely nobody finds me intimidating at the gym. But if you were to think that I was intimidating, you could just walk up to me and see me on my phone playing Battle Cats.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing 99% of the time.
I see you.
Football or basketball?
3 years ago, I would have said basketball. Now it's football by a mile.
Okay.
You kidding me? I'm a massive Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
Given that's where I grew up.
I was looking to get that.
I have a bet with my buddy Nico that if the Lions win the Super Bowl this year, I will dye my hair fluorescent blue.
Oh, so, well, why would you do something against yourself?
Because that's how excited I'll be.
Oh, okay.
I'll be so over the moon that I'll dye my hair blue.
Dude.
Are you kidding me? A Roman St. Brown. I'm kidding. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I was going to bring that up.
Man.
He was like all buddy with the grandpa who did it. Maybe you'll be next.
Dude, oh my goodness.
Maybe you'll beat Amon-Ra.
I want to meet Amon-Ra St. Brown now.
Yeah, Oliver's going to be Among Us St. Brown's next
in the words of my buddy Nico, I'm naming my first child Oliver Amon-Ra St. Brown Ward.
The sun god Ward. All right.
I birth sun gods.
This is the one that really I was setting something controversial to come up. Podcasts or music?
Okay, so music by a mile, and that's just because dude, there's something about hearing those melodies and vibrations in my ears that just puts me on another ethereal plane. I'm transcending onto another level. I can't live without music. Music is one of the only things on the face of the earth that I can't live without.
Exactly. I'm sorry. It's like...
But I am getting way more into listening to podcasts ever since I've started doing it.
Yeah. Love podcasts, but music is kind of just...
Oh my God. Why did nobody told me that I had sweat stains, man? Okay.
I thought a damn bug just crawled on you, bro. But yeah, no. Sorry to all the podcast people out there. We love you. But because you said the thing about ethereal music, I have a song in mind that I just found. What's like your most recent like banger song that's in rotation for the people out there? Like if you had to put the people on.
Okay, you're gonna hate me for this.
No,
Hang on, let me pull up. I'll pull up. Let me see what my last saved song is. Oh, okay.
It better not be Sexy Red.
No, it's actually Attention by Bryson Tiller.
Okay.
However, aside from that, Cool by Alithio is great. And then, you're going to get mad at me for this, I Miss You Too by Drake featuring Kid Cudi, because Kid Cudi carries that song.
Why would... I don't know why I'd be mad about that. That's a good song. But I was actually going to say I've been getting put on to like some old school rock recently, and
that's fair.
I'm like, I'm trying to become based here and have like a good musical opinion because my dad is like so versed with music, and everyone comes over to my house and like sees my dad is like, oh, your dad's so cool. I'm like, yeah, I know my dad's fucking so much cooler than me. But we actually went to like, I really hope I didn't bring this up on the last podcast, but we went to like this cool ass thing. It was like a like bar and record shop combo. Like, isn't that crazy?
That sounds sick.
Yeah, it was sick. But they were playing Dreams, or it's just Dream by Fleetwood Mac.
I love Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, so I was very unaware of Fleetwood. Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac's a legend. Fleetwood Mac's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'm always a sucker.
I love my 80s music. I can't lie.
I'm always a sucker for a female lead vocalist. Something about like the female leads in rock just work a lot better for me. And then, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. That's just bias from my childhood because I would always like my favorite song was like Barracuda back then. If you know that one,
I don't know that song off the top of my head.
No, it's fire. But was it? Yeah, no. My friend just put me on to another Fleetwood Mac song. It's called Gypsy. If you heard of that one,
Gypsy's such a good song.
Yeah, that's like
one of Fleetwood Mac's greatest songs. Yeah. That is such a good tune.
So I've been rocking with that one a lot recently.
Yeah, when it comes to older stuff, I'd probably say like the Talking Heads, Police, Frankie Goes to Hollywood is pretty good. Dave Matthews Band. There's a lot.
Okay, so basically Oliver's based.
Okay, I'm not based.
Based musical opinion.
I don't know.
All right, I just wanted to, give the people potential new shit to tune into. Just throw that out there. YouTube or Netflix? Next question.
YouTube. Netflix has gone down the drain in the past 5 years. That is one of the worst subscription services ever. And I feel like on YouTube, you get people who create content that they actually care about.
Yeah. I was trying to get into Attack on Titan, and they goddamn took that shit off.
Attack on Titan was a great show, too.
Yeah, there's some other like good shows that I like wanted to reminisce, go back to, and it's like then they're gone.
I would say like my favorite show of all time is Ozark. Which is on Netflix. That's like the only good thing that's ever come out of Netflix, in my personal opinion, as an original. That show is phenomenal. It's all about like money laundering and drug trade.
So you probably love Breaking Bad too, then. Big crime
never
guy.
seen it. It's my brother's favorite show of all time, and I told him I'd watch it with him, and I still haven't done it.
Oh, all right.
I need to watch it.
We should watch it together.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet either. So like,
yeah,
we have,
and I know it's one of like the most critically acclaimed shows of all time.
2 people in the room and 2 frauds right now, guys.
Yeah, I would be. I'm technically a fraud when it comes to pop culture. My pop culture knowledge is not super good.
Yeah, I disagree with that because we just had that moment 2
That's
seconds
fair.
ago where we literally knew the exact same TikTok guy.
Yeah.
I promise that was not planned, by the way.
No, it was. That was like literally off rip. I said I was winging this interview when I came in, which is what I've been doing.
That's how it works. That's how the best ones go.
Not Raven. Brendan and I are on the same wavelength. Oh my goodness.
I am Raven.
No, I mix up names all the time, dude.
There's worse people to get compared to. Raven's a cutie pie.
That's true.
Last one and the best one. The one that Oliver made me add.
Oh my goodness.
Celeb crush. Let's hear it.
I'd have to probably say Ice Spice. I'm kidding.
Yo.
No, I don't really know. Megan Thee Stallion. No, I'm kidding. No, it's actually
that one was valid.
No. But I have to take it because I don't have a current celebrity crush. But like I told you earlier, as a kid, Ariana Grande on Victorious with her red hair was getting me going as a child.
Yeah, that was my first
that sounds really weird when I said it like that, but you know what I mean, dude.
No,
my 12-year-old brain was going crazy.
Yeah, just for the sake of not saying the same person. My celeb crush right now, you know who Faith Ordway is?
No.
Gosh, she's fucking gorgeous. But yeah.
I'll have to look her up.
I'll show you after. But
Please do.
She is beautiful. She's like a fitness influencer.
Okay.
But kind of a pivot here, somewhat of a pivot. What would your podcast be about if F1 didn't exist?
Oh my, that's such a loaded question.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No. There's nothing wrong with asking that question. It's kind of interesting because it should give light on other things I care about. Man, if I didn't do F1, I'd want to say like making it about an entirely different form of motorsport, but I wouldn't do that. I'm a super big, if we're keeping it in the term or the area of sports, I'd probably do it on soccer. Like I'm super big into the English Premier League for soccer. I've been following that since like middle school. So like that's like my sport aside from motorsports that I know the most about. But like, I don't know, maybe if I actually started traveling a bunch, making like a travel themed podcast about like all the places I'd go to and, you know, what to do there, what I did while I was there and how to make your experience good when you go there. But, that actually takes me getting on a plane and going out to places.
Yeah, no, that would be like a harder one to swing in terms of like consistency. Because
Exactly. I've only gone on one vacation this year.
Yeah.
So
Where'd you go?
I went to Waynesboro, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
To visit my buddy Jack, which was really nice. That was a great trip.
I have a buddy who's doing like a cross the country kind of trip where he's going to like from here to UCLA for his brother's college because he's gonna get like his master's there. Wow. And he's gonna like he's gonna like take stops in like Wyoming, Utah, see a bunch of like the national parks and like pretty much run the gauntlet.
I have a bunch of national parks on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I was literally just having a conversation about this a couple days ago. That being like, I want to go Glacier National Park is the #1 national park I want to go to. The Everglades, Zion, like there's so many. My mom has talked super high about Acadia National Park in Maine. Like I want to go see all of those places.
Oh, in Maine, we got one in Maine.
Funny enough, the dudes in my family, when that comes to like my dad, my brother, my cousin, my uncle, and my sisters, and my actually female cousins as well. Now that I think about it, they go to Isle Royale every single year, which is Michigan's one national park. It's in the middle of Lake Superior. It's just a giant island in the middle of Lake Superior. It's a national park. Super good, like hiking trails and stuff up there. They do it every year, and it's super beautiful. And I need to get on doing that with them at some point because they just go up there and they go backpacking.
No Banff on there.
What? No Banff.
Banff.
What's Banff?
Dude, you never heard of Banff? It's a national park in Canada.
Oh, Banff, the national park. I thought you were talking about
like
something
badass motherfucker.
Yes.
No. The national park. That's like the main one I want to go to.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I gotta research that stuff more.
My father has spoken very highly of that one.
Maybe go to Indiana Dunes. That's like a hop, skip, and a walk.
Oh yeah. I've been there a bunch of times actually.
I can't believe that's considered a national park, by the way.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool, but like if you're gonna make Indiana Dunes a national park, you need to make Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan a national park. Like,
ooh, he's putting on the local place.
Mm-hmm, I am putting on the local place, but that's a place a lot of people know outside of Michigan. Like it's like a touristy area, but it's completely valid.
Yeah. Well, damn. I mean, travel podcast. It's kind of a good idea.
But I'd have to start traveling. Yeah. I'd have to actually carpe diem that shit and start getting on some planes and going places.
You think Raven would be down to do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Given that Raven and I want to travel for our own podcast to like races and stuff, I think he like would do that.
Oh yeah, no. I remember there being talks of that too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now we have the last and final question, which is what should I do for my own podcast?
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's even harder to answer than the question.
Being as I'm on the open market, I'll start you off a little bit because I'm planning to, like, as of right now, I kind of want to do Listen for Commands again, which is the show that I used to have just like with two co-hosts, but this time I kind of just want to do it like on my own, and then
I feel like you could do that on your own,
and then get like guests weekly.
So that's totally doable.
It wouldn't just be me. I'd get like a little bit of help, but it would.
You'd also have more, I want to say like freedom, since you are the one essentially 100% dictating what goes on with the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess it could be more refined since it all goes through you.
Yeah, well, depending on your perspective on things. I mean, if you liked what the show was like before, then I'd say that would be, a good thing because I was making a lot of the creative decisions in terms of like how it looked in post and all that fun stuff, like how the show flew. I almost said flew. Yeah. Flowed. But I don't know. I'm really interested in powerlifting, so I am really looking to do something more over on that. And I think like we were talking about earlier, it's like those markets are really, up for the taking. And
they definitely are.
I think like my quality of video would be like significantly better than like.
Say this guy definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to editing and that stuff.
It's not even just that. It's like the top, like, I don't mean to throw shade, but like the top #1 powerlifting podcast is like King of the Lifts or something. And it's literally just like a Zoom thing. And there's like 2 people on Zoom. It's like, dude, come on.
We're already topping that right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like we already have more production value than that. And I don't know. All I need to do is be more interesting and have better guests. So that's burning. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, no. Did you end up getting hot in here over the past hour?
Yeah, there's probably a giant sweat stain on my back. I'm so happy you guys cannot see that right now. It is so humid out here today. I'm so thankful it's going to start thunderstorming later.
Yeah.
Which also make my day at work a little bit easier today as well, given it hopefully won't be as busy.
Yeah, it's only a Thursday. Nothing crazy.
But
actually,
it is so hot.
Actually, people just got done with finals. Probably that might be running over to Home Slice to throw a banger.
I was gonna say, this is like grad week, so it probably will be really busy this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be graduating on Saturday.
I'm proud of you. You and Raven both.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited to finally get up out of there. But thank you for bearing with me today.
Go back and sit in the Ville. Oh, sorry. Can go back to my trench.
Yeah, no. Me and Oliver gotta, cap it here because we are absolutely on fire. I could talk to Oliver.
Yeah, I could
hours.
keep this going. If I wasn't sweating my balls off, I could do this forever.
Yeah, we even cracked like a window over here back here.
And it did absolutely nothing, by the way.
Yeah, it did nothing except for maybe you guys could hear some like birds chirping a little bit. I don't know. Maybe
Makes me feel better.
Maybe that gives us a more naturalistic environment. Just attributes to
you want to go
Oliver's
do it in a
beauty.
bird sanctuary.
All right,
my beauty. Wait, oh my goodness, this is too much.
Just look at the light that is being cast on Oliver right now. He's just almost holy.
The nice chandelier up there.
It's so close. Yeah, the camera doesn't get the chandelier, but I wish it did.
I know it. I know damn well it gets it in the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It does. It
totally does.
All right, but we appreciate everyone who is obviously made it this far. I appreciate everyone who's coming here from On the Gravel to come, see what Oliver's up to. I'm sure there will be a decent amount of people, and I mean, I hope you guys come over because I would have to assume that a lot of people who watch On the Gravel are what kind of person actually is Oliver? It's not as much as a mystery as it was with Tassos, because Tassos didn't even have a camera. So this isn't your guys'
People
first
know
time.
my face. If you're coming over from On the Gravel, you know my face. And we're also going to end this off the exact same way I end off On the Gravel.
Oh, okay.
At least for our video watchers.
Oh, we could have you outro it.
It's a pretty fun way we do it. I seriously, Brendan, I appreciate you having me on and doing this.
I appreciate you
especially just because Siri came up on my computer. Just especially since I love to talk and I technically don't have to follow a script with today, so it's kind of been nice to just have full freedom to do this.
Yeah, it's true. No script.
In classic Raven and Oliver fashion, I'm going to give you a little bit of work to do on the production side.
Okay.
Subscribe on this side of my head here. In my hand right there. Last week's video right here on this side of my head. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Give Brendan some love. He's doing some good work out here. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Peace out, y'all. Thank you.
Take care, guys.